Alright guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be talking about Damien Comolli. That's right, he obviously is returning to Anfield with Toulouse this evening. And our good friend James Pearce has wrote an article about him. It's titled, Damien Comolli at Liverpool, Unappreciated Genius or an Expensive Mistake. Now, a discussion is underway on the Cop Talk VIP members website, details of which is in the video description below, about this article and Damien Comolli in general. But we can discuss this here as well, right? Now, I'm not going to read the whole article to you or anything like that. But I just thought I'd touch on a few points, a little bit of discussion or something for you guys to consider. Damien Comolli has always viewed being sacked by Liverpool as an injustice. I think he was a bit of a scapegoat at the time. I think I had mixed feelings. And eventually, when more and more information came out, I started to think, hang on a fucking minute. Do you know what I mean? I look at some of his signings and some of what he did, but actually, I ended up really liking Damien Comolli. And if you ever get a chance to watch him be interviewed, I mean, I'm sure there's interviews on YouTube and the likes and things like that. If you ever get a chance to watch any of his interviews, he actually speaks a really good game. He does. And I think some of you might go, you're all right. He signed Stuart Downing, don't fuck right off. Do you know what I mean? So I get it. I do get it. But Sir Alex Ferguson also signed some duds. Do you know what I mean? And our own managers. So I don't want to focus too much on that, but I think I like him. I like him. I like him. So the Frenchman was the first major appointment following Fenway Sports Group's takeover in November 2010. Initially brought in as a director of football strategy alongside Roy Hodgson. He was promoted to the role of director of football during Kenny Dalglish's managerial reign 4 months later. Over the course of 2011, can you believe how long ago that is? 2011. Comolli, who was responsible for negotiating the club's transfer deals, brought in 9 senior players at a total cost of around £112 million. At the time, it was the biggest spending spree in the club's history, partially subsidised by the £50 million sale of Fernando Torres to Chelsea. Now, apparently you guys, when you talk about my previous videos, you always bring up the Turncoat Torres video. I don't watch it. I don't even know what I say in it. I think I'd be a bit cringy if I watch it. I'd be a bit cringy if I watched any of my videos, if I'm completely honest with you. I do find it very easy to speak to you guys, This is community, and I genuinely do consider you guys my friends. But I wouldn't be able to, I don't know, I could waffle all day long, as you know. But if someone was playing one of my videos, I would die of embarrassment. Honestly, terrible. And rightly so. Liverpool won the League Cup, but their struggles in the Premier League led to them being ruthlessly dismissed in April 2012, just 2 days before their FA Cup semi-final victory over Everton at Wembley. Now, John Henry and Tom Werner, FSG's principal owner and chairman respectively, blamed Comolli for wasting money on underperforming signings such as Andy Carroll. Can you believe we signed that sack of shit? Stuart Downing and him. And Jordan Henderson. Do it for the gays. Sorry, some of you won't understand that. It doesn't matter. The owners had expected a push for Champions League qualification, as Rafa Benitez would call it, rather than a limp 8th place finish. I don't like the word limp. There's a reason for that. It's not a word that ever comes up in my life before you start, but I just don't like the word limp. Just over a decade later, and Comolli is back at Anfield, this time with Toulouse in the Europa League tonight. Appointed chairman of the French club after Red Bird Capital Partners. Do you remember them? The US private equity company that also owns 10% of FSG, bought in 2020. Right? The French club they bought, right? Okay. He has helped mastermind a remarkable resurgence with a data-led approach. Toulouse secured promotion back to the top flight in 2022, and 12 months later won the French Cup, the first major honour in their 86-year history. Talking of other football clubs, I told you in a few videos back, or I don't know, a couple of months ago maybe, I bought a season ticket for my local side out here in Spain. They're in the 4th tier of Spanish football, I think. I ain't seen them score a goal yet. Honestly, I went last night, sat in the president's box with the mayor and that, just saying, because I got VIP, odds, right? And we got beat 2-0. I genuinely have not seen that team. I'm bringing lots of luck. The bottom of the table. But I do enjoy going for the half-time hospitality, you know what I'm saying? And that bird that's, she's well fit. See, this is the thing, you know, like when you have the VIP thing, right? And you go and you go to your own little, like, you're in like the president's box, and you go down the stairs, right, into your little private room. You know, you got to wear a wristband that says VIP on it. And when you get in there, right, the thing is, money attracts the best women, doesn't it? Do you not think? Do you not think? I'm not like that. I'm not what I mean. Listen, I am bothered if a woman has got money or not. All right, but what I mean by that is, I'm totally going off here, right? What I mean is, you've got all these fellas there in the whistle and flutes, in the suits, you know, giving it large and that. Do you know what I mean? And they've always got a drop dead god. Like, you can just see, like, you know, what they're wearing, the handbags and everything. Do you know what I mean? The shoes. Do you know what I mean? There's no Trisha there. Do you know what I mean? There's no Trish. Hiya, Trisha. Hiya, love. You all right? There's none of that in there, is there? When you go to any of these, like, Ponzi things. Do you know what I mean? And I just sit there in the corner, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? With my fucking bit of tortilla and that. I don't know how I got onto that. Some women might be offended, but I don't care if anyone's offended. But it's just no coincidence, is it, that the nice chicks that you see in there at half time, I mean, they are drop dead gorgeous, but it doesn't matter. None of them are sat with me. There you go. Okay. What the fuck are we talking about? Comolli's status in the south of France seems secure, but what about his Anfield legacy? Blah, blah, blah. Context is important. When Comolli first walked through the doors at Melwood, Liverpool were in a mess. Listen to this as a reminder. Just a fortnight before appointing him, Henry and Werner had been at Goodison to watch Hodgson's side slump to an embarrassing Merseyside derby defeat. Only goal difference kept Liverpool off the bottom of the Premier League table. Oh, that's all we need now. The top Reds won't want, you know, they'll be using that today, won't they? It opened their eyes to the scale of the task facing them following their £300 million takeover, like they had a fucking clue. They knew the squad required a major overhaul and they needed someone to oversee it. Comolli, who had previously worked for Arsenal, Tottenham and St Etienne, came highly recommended. Anyway, so it goes on and on and on and on. Blah, blah, blah. We don't need to be reminded of what happened. I think we all know. But the reason I'm mentioning it, is I think some people won't even realise that Comolli is with this club. And there'll be some people, some Liverpool fans tonight, I guarantee that, you know, assuming he does attend, which he should, you know, if they see him in the directors, Damien Comolli doing here, do you know what I mean? So, anyway, I just thought I'd mention it to you. Do you have any thoughts on women hanging around rich men? No. Do you have any thoughts on Damien Comolli, his time at Liverpool? I think most people go, I'm not interested, he was useless. But you know what? That was an opinion I had at the time. But after listening to him and looking into the legal case as well, you should Google that. You know, the legal case between Damien Comolli and Liverpool Football Club. And listening to nearly every interview I've ever seen him give, I reckon, whenever I've seen one, I've watched it. And when he talks about his time at Liverpool, very well spoken, very intelligent man. And but I still don't think that'd be enough to convince you to change your mind. So I'm not trying to tell you he was good or bad for Liverpool. I'm not really interested, to be honest. The idea or the reason for the video is to let you know, if you weren't aware, that what he's up to now. And they're doing really well with him there. It just didn't work out at Liverpool. But I do think that he was thrown under a bus. And for many years, I think that, you know, certain journalists in the LFC clique, you know, really cost him. And, you know, but they were defending the owners. Oh, Damien Comolli is responsible for everything that went wrong at Anfield, because that's what they peddled. And I don't think that was the case. So you might have your opinions, more, you know, like you don't rate him or something, or you didn't rate his time at Liverpool. But just remember that these journalists that are up FSG's, you know, they really threw him under a bus and he was blamed for everything. And I thought we might have seen a bit of that to do with Boyd George, the sporting director at Liverpool. Now, there was a point during the summer where I thought they're going to throw him under the bus. And then that pack of journalists, that clique of journalists, they jump on it. Do you know what I mean? And it's all his fault, blah, blah, blah. And often these people don't get an opportunity to speak out. And at the time, Damien Comolli, if memory serves me right, and you know my memory's terrible, he obviously had the legal case which prevented him from speaking about things. But he did win that legal case, so I think he's all right, Comolli. Wish him luck. It's past, it's nothing to do with us now. But I thought it was important to raise it just in case you didn't know that he was associated to that club. And also that if you hear any speculation or chatter tomorrow about him being at Anfield, that's why. Okay, guys, if you like the video, please thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit the super thanks if you want to buy me a drink, if you want to make my fucking day, become a Cop Talk VIP member. The information is in the video description below, and I'll give you a shout out and I'll love you forever. Speak to you in a bit.